Welcome to the world according to FradyKatt. FradyKatt being me. You know, I've been looking for a cause for something to do every day besides make metal parts and work on boats and stuff. I felt like I needed to do something and more than just make parts. I needed to spread a message. I need to do my part because this world is falling apart. At least through the eyes I'm looking through. I mean, I see crazy shit all the time, and I finally come down to the conclusion that what this world has is everybody says it's a lack of God, it's the college doing. No, it's a lack of common sense is what it is. People don't think before they do things. They get offended too easily. They worry about what their neighbors think. They don't look good, or they're fat, or they take it out on the world. You know, this is a crazy world. You got to live by common sense. You got to do what's right. Live by the golden rule. You know what the golden rule is? You know, you do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. You know, I mean, you treat people like you want to be treated. And if everybody did that, it would be a lot better place to live. Back when I grew up, it was black and white. And there wasn't Asians, there wasn't Mexicans, there wasn't any of these people around here. It was black and white. And it was pretty simple. You know, I want to touch off on a subject that probably is touch and go. You know, the school shootings and all this stuff started back in the 90s, you know. Back when we was growing up, we didn't have to worry about getting shot at school. And we didn't have to worry about getting shot at church. Even on the job. I mean, you didn't have to worry about things. People had common sense, you know. My daddy bought me a gun when I was 11 years old. 20-gauge shotgun, still got it. You know, I never took it to school, showed it to nobody. I wouldn't, it was just, you know, everybody had a gun back then. I didn't know, you know. Different world today. But the subject I want to talk about right now is the shooting in Winder, Georgia, at this high school. You know, I know that's got to be a terrifying experience for anybody, you know, especially a child, to fear for their life at that age. At school, you know, I mean, it's terrible. It should not happen. And the people that create those acts or do those awful things, they should be took out right there on the spot. They should not deserve to live. Whether they're 14 years old or 25 years old, it don't matter, or 60 years old. You know, if you're doing something like that, you're going in to cause people harm, and you ain't right. But the point I want to make is, this last shooting we had down here in Winder, Georgia, they had problems with this particular child, or man, or boy, and previously, and the police had been to his house and questioned him about threats that he had made about going and shooting up the school. And the daddy knew about it, and you know, he didn't actually do it. That was several years ago. So anyway, but after that happened, the daddy made a bad decision, and he bought the child a gun. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not agreeing with it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying it's not illegal, and he did it. And unfortunately, the child took that gun and went to school and harmed people and killed people with it. And then they come and arrest the father. Now, that's where I've got a problem. I ain't saying what he did was right or wrong. Okay, I'm not saying what he did was right or wrong. What I'm saying is, if they do this is just the beginning. It's just a way of taking more of your freedom. Let's draw a different conclusion here. Let's say the same boy and the same dad. Let's leave out the gun. Leave out the gun. Let's say the kid was 16 years old. He had a couple of speeding tickets. He's a crazy driver, like me and like every 16-year-old, crazy driver. Let's say, Dad, I want to borrow the car. Okay? Dad lets him borrow the car. He goes out, speeds, has a wreck, kills somebody. Bad scene. They come and arrest the daddy. Now, that's not right, okay? I ain't saying the parents don't share some responsibility. But you know, if they start doing that to this guy, dead and winder, they'll start doing it to everybody. And it's just less. Then next thing you know, they'll be arresting you when your kids go to school and fart in the classroom. You know, they're going to bring in and lecture you. I mean, where does it end? I mean, where does the control end? They've been brainwashing us for 50 years. Personally, I didn't learn a damn thing in high school. Not a damn thing that I learned in high school. They pushed me through there, took all the easy classes, didn't learn a damn thing. And it's sad, but that's just the way it is. And, you know, but going to school, going to church, and work is three places that we should be safe, regardless of how crazy the world is. We should be safe. And another few things I'm going to point off on here on this first video of the world, according to FradyKatt, is boys are not supposed to play girls' sports. The only time we ever played against girls growing up was in the summertime when school was out, and we'd have a big softball game in the neighborhood there. We'd play up in the field. We all played. Kids, adults, 18-year-olds, 12-year-olds, girls, boys, everybody played ball. Blacks, whites, it didn't matter. It wasn't no problem. Nowadays, you know, if the boys can't cut it, or they identify as a woman, you know, I identify as a normal person with common sense. And if that's bad, so be it. I don't believe in boys playing girls' sports, okay? I just don't buy it. If my son come home and told me he tried out for the girls' softball team, I'd bust his ass. It's simple as that. I'd be the one that have to be worried about it, nobody else, okay? Y'all help me out here a little bit now. Common sense. It's a lot. My son went to college, 4 years. Got a bachelor's degree. And he was somewhere up in North Carolina one night driving around in his car. And he had a flat tire out in the middle of nowhere, you know. He's not the brightest thing in the world. And you know what he did? He called 911. My son did. Now, this is when he was 25 years old, healthy, you know. He was okay. Well, they sent the police officer out there. They sent the police out there, and they promptly arrested him. Now, you might can get away with that if you're a 95-year-old woman and you can't change your tire. But a 25-year-old man, common sense tells you that if you're 25 years old and you have a flat tire and you call 911, that's an emergency number, people. That's not for flat tires. It's an emergency number. You know, he should have called the police department and says, hey, I need a record. Now, they would have helped him out. Or call AAA, you know, whatever. You don't call 911. When he told me that, I about died laughing. I laughed at that boy. Actually, he went to court and beat it, but that's just that's more than a fucked up world. But anyway, don't call, common sense tells you, don't call 911 when you have a flat tire unless you're a 95-year-old woman, okay? It's a lot of things in this world that you can, you have a very, just think with common sense. Don't touch nothing hot. Don't go outside when it's 25 degrees in your underwear. I mean, a lot of things, just, you know, a lot of things you shouldn't do. And common sense tells you, you shouldn't do this, you know. And you know when you do wrong. You know when you do wrong. Everybody knows when you go out there and you start floorboarding your car and you get 100 miles an hour, 35. Well, I've done it, and you've done it too. I didn't get caught, and maybe you didn't either, but still, common sense should tell you, don't do that. You could kill somebody. I've done so much stupid shit in my life. By all common sense rules, I should not be here. Because I was the dumb of the dumbest. And the stupid of the stupidest. And then the dumbest and the stupidest shit of anybody on this friggin' earth. And just the good Lord's been looking out for me is all I can say. But I never have wanted to play girl sports. Yeah, I don't know. Politics kind of reminds me a lot of common sense. I mean, look at the world of politics today. I mean, who in their right mind would vote for Joe Biden? I mean, the things they did, the things they're still doing, I don't guess it really matters. Everybody's different. Everybody has their view, and you just go there and you just vote for what works for you. If voting for Kamala Harris works for you, then by all means, you go do it. I can't see how it would work for you, but you do it. But the world according to FradyKatt. We do all kind of crazy stuff. We got a lot of topics coming up. I've been keeping notes. This first one here is just about my rant and rave about the Winder shooting. You know, I hate it that anybody has to, that's just awful. But the daddy didn't deserve to be arrested. That's my opinion. That's my view on that. I don't agree with it. You know, I don't think the 14-year-old boy should be alive either. I think he should have got took out while he was down there shooting people. Anybody that takes somebody else's life don't deserve to live in prison or anywhere else. If you take somebody else's life, whether it's anger, love, or just pure hate, or just meanness, or just for the hell of it, you don't deserve to live. And that's my opinion. And everybody's entitled to the opinion. Everybody's entitled to their view. You know, that's what makes America a great country, is we have choices. But it's when it gets out of control like it is now, where nothing makes sense. I mean, never in a time in history can I remember a time as crazy as now. I mean, they're trying their best to piss off Putin. You know, everybody talks about China this, Russia that. Who gives a shit, okay? Every damn thing you buy is made in China in the first place. You can't go to not one store in this town or anywhere in this country that ain't full of nothing but Chinese shit. Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, all these tourist towns, Daytona, they all sell these little novelties and things. All that shit's Chinese-made junk. Full, you go to Dollar General, Walmart, Kmart, it don't matter. The store's full of Chinese-made junk. Your cars, half made in China and Mexico. And what's the big deal about American-made? Everybody, oh, it's American-made. You go in any factory in this country, and it's full of Asian people, Mexicans, and people from all over the world. Very few good old boys working in there. Very few good old boys working in there. And so what's the... I bought a brand new American-made Fender guitar and sent it back. Bought a brand new American-made Gibson Les Paul, sent it back. Had runs on the neck, obvious runs on the neck. Had a $100 Chinese Les Paul that didn't have runs on the neck. Bought another guitar, bought a Fender, Mexican-made Fender Telecaster. Beautiful, mint guitar, not a thing wrong with it. Bought a Korean-made Gretsch. Nothing wrong with it. Bought 3 American-made guitars, sent every one of them back. Because all of them was junk. I don't know, you tell me. You tell me what's going to happen in November. Who's going to win? I'd like to see Donald Trump win, but he won't be able to do nothing. They'll just attack him constantly for 4 years like they did before. Well, nothing changed. Won't nothing change? It don't matter. Nobody cares. Everybody is screwed up in the head. Everybody's screwed up in the head. I got some old friends I was trying to connect back up with, you know, because I lost a lot of my friends. In 2021, I lost my 2 best friends in the world and my father. And man, suddenly my life was turned upside down. I had nobody, you know, friend-wise. And it was sad how one of them left. One of them killed his wife and blowed his brains out, you know. And that's a hard thing for anybody to handle right there when something like that happens. I don't understand that. Can't understand how anybody would take their own life. If you're in a boat and you're in a position where you feel like you need to take your life, call somebody. talk to somebody. Reach out, talk to God, talk to Jesus, do something, you know. Go hide for a week. Just don't do that, because everybody's got a soul. And I'm not a religious person by no means, okay? My hat goes off to everybody, anybody who can live their life for Jesus, because I've never been able to do it. But I do have a soul, and I do have feelings, and I do care for people. And if you're feeling low and you're feeling down and out, and reach out to someone. Reach out to God. You know, a lot of people say, you know, anything's possible with God. Power of prayer. I believe in a lot of that stuff. When I'm feeling down and in the dumps, feeling like an uneducated hick, no worth in the world, here we go. When I'm feeling pretty good, and things are going better for me, and I have a little optimism about what's going to happen in the world, I like to put on this hat. I'm a Trumper. That's okay. If you're not, that's okay too. We can still be friends. I got a lot of friends that's not Trumpers. I don't particularly, well, we just don't talk about politics. Each to his own. I don't agree with boys' sports. I don't agree with none of this trans stuff and the sex changes and little boys wanting to be little girls. I just don't agree with none of that stuff. I think it's just a little absurd, and common sense tells me. It's kind of like driving your car, you're in a Volkswagen Bug going down the interstate, 68 miles an hour in a VW Bug, and you're in the left-hand lane, you know, and you got her wide open, man. You're going 68 miles an hour, and you see this big semi coming. And you can't go any faster. And you need to get in the left-hand lane. And there's this asshole right beside of you that won't speed up, won't slow down. And here comes that truck. Now, what are you going to do? Common sense tells you, don't brake check, okay? Don't brake check. Oh, hell no, not in a VW Bug or something. You just keep her wide open and try to convince that fellow next to you there to get over so you can get over. Hopefully he'll speed up. But if you're one of these kind of people that do that shit on purpose and you want to brake check a truck, well, if you want to brake check a truck at any speed, in any kind of car, you're an idiot. Because them trucks will run over a car and squish it flat like it wasn't even there and just keep on going. Because you're talking about a 3,000 to 6,000 pound vehicle versus a 80,000 pound vehicle. Common sense. Y'all, let's live with common sense. Let's let common sense rule, and let's make common sense great again. I got some Make Common Sense Great Again t-shirts coming, and some Make Common Sense Great Again stickers. And I will send you the link when they are ready. But let's make common sense great again. And y'all comment and use your common sense and subscribe to my channel. Let's get out there. I've got to do my part to dissolve some of this craziness in the world. I'm sure I'm not going to do much good, but if one person listens to me and I convert one person over to common sense again and get them out of this fantasy world they live in with video games and virtual reality and all this shit and everything, blah, 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 blah. I mean, God bless, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's make common sense great again. Thank you.